All right, welcome back. It's part two. I'm laughing at myself. I was just having a little pep talk with myself, going, who did I think I was that I could give you a body image teaching in 30 minutes? Oy, y'all, let's keep going. If you missed part one of the body image in your brain, go listen to it. It's going to help you. You really do want to listen to it as far as understanding the brain. I'm not going to go back into the brain parts, so that's really important. Let's continue this conversation. I wonder in the last week or so since you've heard from me last about this, how you been doing? Have you been thinking about it a little differently, of realizing that how you feel is driving how you see, that what you see in the mirror is talking and connecting to how you feel, and that's in your parietal lobe. So we got to get after the feel. We have to get after that. And so we're going to go into the practices today, a little bit of how to heal our parietal lobe, how to upgrade the software in our mind, and also get a new computer, or at least a new driver in that part of our brain. Okay, key problem review takeaway from what we talked about in part one. When you look in the mirror and feel like what you see doesn't match reality, your parietal lobe and somatosensory cortex may be misfiring, especially if trauma, stress, or shame have distorted your body map over time. Okay, let's stop there. If trauma, stress, or shame have distorted your body map over time, back to what we said at the beginning. This, by the way, this is just science research saying this. Back what I said at the beginning. Shame has been there from the beginning. It was the very first thing. We sinned, eyes opened. Oh my gosh, what's wrong? This is wrong. I'm naked. This thing needs to get covered up. Something's wrong with my body. It's been there from the beginning. So, do we have a hard time matching our reality because our parietal lobe and somatosensory cortex are struggling to know the truth, and especially in the times we live in now? Trauma, stress, or shame distort your body map over time. Let's stay on shame. If you were raised in a home where you were shamed for eating too much or being too big, or how come you can't be like your sister, or maybe your dad wanted you to be more athletic and be the son he never had, and your body wasn't fast enough and couldn't perform enough. That's shame. That's shame regarding our body. And then we just have shame in general, just shame because you did something wrong. Doesn't mean you are wrong, but you did some wrong stuff. And without a renewed mind, without the resilience of a safe place to be with parents who love you and choose you, and then even then, if your parents choose you, love you, do that, there's still a vulnerability in every soul where shame can get in. Go read the Kurt Thompson book, The Soul of Shame. So this is why I'm saying nobody sees their body correctly. Not a one. And by the way, some people don't even struggle. So this isn't an issue for them. They're like, well, my body's great, doing what it does, great. It's for some, and primarily women. I think it's 91% of women now are dissatisfied with their body. 95% of diets don't work. Only 5% of people in the world right now have the ideal body image, whatever that is. And don't hold it for too long, because in about 2 years, it's going to change and there'll be another body image ideal. Remember when big butts were like a joke? And now it's the thing. Okay, I digress. So shame. Shame has been with us from the very beginning, and it distorts our body map. This is why no one has ever seen their body right. Oh, Lord, have mercy on us. And then trauma and stress. Well, trauma, that's when those big life events happen and you're overwhelmed. And especially if the trauma was with your body, against your body, in your body, then that leaves a mark on the parietal lobe. It changes your association to even those parts of your body. I'll talk about that more. I think I'll talk about that more in a second, will I? Hold on. Oh, I won't. That's in a different that's in a different teaching. That's some health summit stuff. Sorry. We'll just keep it high level. But I think you get that, right? Trauma. This is why some women who have been raped have a hard time conceiving children. They have a hard time. Understood. Mercy, grace. We need healing. We need to feel valued and loved by God. Yeah. So, and then let's talk about stress. I mean, it's said that if trauma, stress, or shame, it can distort your body map over time. None of us are immune to this. Stress. I'll talk more about this at Health Summit. I hope you'll come June 5th through 6th. See you in Denver. But stress is changing our ability to see our bodies correctly and feel our bodies. I think most importantly, to feel good in your body and peace. So let's talk about some of these stresses that happen right now. Remember, I started in part 1. My whole kind of deep dive into this is, how can a beautiful woman still think she needs to fix herself? It just was beyond me, right? That influencer. Go back and listen to part 1 if you don't know what I'm talking about. But stress. Listen, this is proven psychology today, or in psychology. Being seen or seeing ourselves too much is a form of trauma. You've heard this statement. Fame is a form of trauma. Fame is trauma. Fame is you're being seen so much by so many people. This is why we see people, celebrities, lose it. Do things, they do things, they change their body, they fix things that don't need to be fixed because they're seeing themselves being seen. Back to my webinar, Why Do I Hate My Body? We are the seer and the seen, and it's too much. We were never meant to be seen like we can be seen now. Think about that. Once upon a time, people just had to maybe worry about being seen by others if we walk into a room. And even that feels scary now because of social anxiety and COVID, and we don't feel safe. We don't feel safe with others, and we've put on weight, and we're more disconnected from our bodies than we don't want to be, but with others we don't want to be seen, and that's just in the day-to-day. And this is where we get keyboard warriors, people that are on Instagram who just are there as voyeurs. They're not contributors. They're not discipling people. They're not adding anything to the conversation. They're just wanting to see someone and not be seen. We need to be seen, but we are never meant to be seen by this many people. If you are brave enough to go on live and go on your phone and preach the gospel or share a message. So I'm very aware. This is for me. I'm seen. I mean, y'all, there's A-list celebrities. I am Y-list. Nobody knows who I am, but enough people know who I am that whenever I meet them, they're always like, oh my gosh, you're so much smaller in real life, or oh my gosh, you have whatever. They're seeing my body. And some people don't, again, they don't mean anything. It's just a little immaturity. Will make remarks on my body, remarks about my body. And no shade, but it is interesting how, again, we see bodies and then we make a judgment about a body. But we were never meant to be seen this much. So back to this influencer, she is seen by a lot of people. She has a form of, quote, fame. And she also is seeing herself a lot as she's looking in her phone and making video. By the way, I just realized something as we were doing this. I can't see myself right now, and I love it. This is why I think you get a better teaching out of me. I wish there was a setting on Instagram that would turn off. I don't want to see me as I'm teaching. I want to see you. This is why I want to see you guys in person. I want to see you, Revelation Wellness instructors, I want to see you up on the mountain. Now that we're in live, I'll see you in the fall. I want to see you. I'm tired of seeing myself as I'm trying to see you. So it can set up a vulnerability in me to like see myself and, oh my gosh, today I went live and I went live and my picture came up, had all these gray hairs. I'm like, whoa, new gray hairs. Huh. And I'll tell you what I did. Later on, I'm going to tell you what I did, because it could trigger me to go, that's a problem. But instead, I was able to enjoy how I feel and get on with it. So being seen or seeing ourselves too much is a form of trauma. Fame, being seen too much, is a trauma, a stressor. That's why this woman's like, I got to fix this. I'm being seen too much. Constant visual scrutiny, which means you're on camera a lot or too much, that will distort your self-perception. Constant visual scrutiny. I'm seeing myself too much. Zoom calls, I'm seeing myself too much. We used to do meetings where you go in meetings and I can't see myself. I'm just looking at you. Now I see myself seeing you. And by the way, there's a setting on Zoom that you can turn it off and not see yourself. And I've done that a few times. Then I'm a little disoriented. I'm a little disoriented at the same time, because I can't, if I'm showing something, I don't know if it can be seen. It just, I feel out of the room when I want to be in the room. Zoom is part of this, guys. Zoom dysmorphia is a thing, a real thing. It affects the fusiform face area of the brain. Oh, I guess I am talking brain one more time today. What Zoom does is it gives us a partial sense of reality. It's real, but it's not real. It's like we have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Literally, your brain has 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Your nervous system has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because you can't fully take in all the sights, sounds, and smells and micro movements of a person that your parietal lobe was made for, so that you can connect and enjoy the presence of other people. This is why you have to get in person. If you are trying to heal your body and your health, and you're doing it behind a computer alone at home, please stop. Make a phone call. You can call, swipe up on this show note, and you will find a phone number. Call. And just, well, I would love for you to talk to someone. There won't be anyone there. Sadly, you can leave a message and tell us what we need to know, but you need to be with other people in the room as a body with other bodies to heal your body, and to stop looking at yourself and how you think others are looking at you. So Zoom dysmorphia is a thing. We can't even see ourselves like we rightly need to, and then we see ourselves too much, and we see ourselves wrongly. And then finally, when we talk about stress, constant comparison is a form of micro trauma. Over time, anything that deviates from the standard feels wrong even if it's normal. So aging is normal. What we do to try and prevent it, that can become abnormal. And then we're stressed about it, which only causes more aging. Constant comparison of me comparing myself to who I was 20 years ago or 10 years ago. That is a form of a microtrauma. So, and if we have stress, trauma, or shame, we have a distorted body map area. Can we see? It's not our brain's fault. The parietal lobe is just going, well, you're stressed, so I'm going to protect you, and you're telling me you don't like how you feel, so then you're not going to like what you see. Back to change how you look, you have to change how you feel. How you feel. 1 Samuel 16:7. God says, the word says that God does not see like man sees. Man looks at outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. Your heart is your place. It's your center of everything. It says, that's a biblical definition. It's your center of everything. How's your everything feeling? It's probably feeling pretty stressed out, because everything feels overwhelming. And this is why we love the John Eldridge prayer. Jesus, we give you everything and everyone. I'm going to just surrender and let it go. And then the stress comes down, and you start to feel a little bit better. And you can look in the mirror and go, you know what? Doing a great job. There's actually a lot of science behind giving yourself a high five or telling yourself, you look amazing. These are some of the things we're going to practice at Health Summit. You're going to get a new body image if you're coming to Health Summit. This I can tell you for sure. We don't see like God sees. We have to just remember that. And you are not seeing your body right. You're not seeing anyone's body right. So God, help us to see. So how do we begin to see what God sees? I have a few exercises for you. Number 1, we have to see him seeing us. We have to practice that. Do you have a practice of seeing him seeing you? Do you ever just stop and lift your head and say, God, I love you. I love you. And with that, you just sense his nearness. Have you ever just take some breath and sense, back to sense. This is why God set your body map to sense. Where am I in space? How do I feel how do my thighs feel? How do I feel my inside? Am I angry? What am I sensing on the inside of me? Because when that all starts to get in alignment, then I can look in the mirror and go, I like her. She's a good idea. We have to see him seeing us, right? That feels good, even if we've done something bad. It reminds me of the story of John 4, the woman at the well, right? She is feeling bad, shame, rejected. She's getting water at high noon. No people. She's not being seen by anyone. That's called shame. And yet, Jesus waits to see her at the well. And he sees her, and he calls out her sin. He calls out the ache of her heart, that she has been looking for lovers, married, not married, and just still thirsty. And he tells her, basically says, it's me you're looking for. He sees her, she sees him. He tells her everything she's ever done. And she leaves with joy and goes. She's the first one, I'm just going to say, she's one of the first evangelists in the gospel pre-resurrected Christ. She went back and told her whole village, and people believed. She saw him, he saw her. And even though she did some bad things, a voice from him, his presence, his love is greater and casts out all our fear, casts out shame. What is your practice for that? I don't think we got this. Man, we're so up in our head. We study the Bible. We do our Bible study, and we're so up in our head. We are not in our heart. We don't feel or sense him. And I begin to sense him when I see him seeing me, when I lift my head. This is why the Jewish people are so good about encoding their bodies. Lift your hands, lift your head, stretch wide. When we do that, we feel good. Anyone? By the way, that's embodied cognition. When you lift your hands up, there's just this release of, Nobody lifts their hands up and does this pose when they feel ashamed. No, ashamed is down. Lifted and hopeful is up. We have to see him seeing us, and we need to feel that in our body. And to do that, that requires time and space. And for some of you, it requires discipleship. No one's ever taught you how to do this. No one's ever helped you to touch this very tangible, doable way of living embodied, dwelling with God, and taking time and just moments when you notice you're not feeling well. Because if you don't feel well, you're not going to look in the mirror and see well. But when you're feeling well, feeling loved by God, seen by God, cared for God, cherished by God, provided for by God, he is God. You don't trust in chariots and horses. You trust in the name of our God. When you have that starting to come up on the inside of you, man, it just becomes yours. But some of you have not really had that other than you go to church on Sunday. I'm pretty sure church on Sunday, or even hopefully if you have a small group or something, is probably your only embodied place with God. And some of you don't even go to church anymore. You just watch it online. Everything else is all up in your head. You need discipleship, someone to lead you and teach you what this can be to have an embodied presence with God. That is what, for sure, we do here at Revelation Wellness, RW Plus community, and something I'm going to go hard after at Health Summit. We have to sense him not only seeing us, but being with us. Being with you. He's with you. This is lovely. I think this is where the Word of God can do this. Just read the Word. He's with you in the Word. But then I would also ask you, can you take it a little further? If you read something in the Word and you're like, oh, I got something from him today, that he was with me today in that secret place, then also notice what that feels like in your body. Ask yourself, how can I revisit this today? Ask the Holy Spirit, how can I revisit this today? How can I make a withdrawal on this today when I have to go to that meeting, or I've got to have that hard conversation, or when I get disturbing news of some kind? How can I make a withdrawal on the fact that this moment right now, he's with me. He speaks to me. And then finally, connection to God and others is needed. How do we begin to see what God sees? We have got to be with others. We got to be with others. We have to be with others. I feel like I have to tell this story. I've told it before, but some of you haven't heard it. And it's one that sticks with me, sticks in my bones. I might have mentioned in part 1, we've all been shamed for something with our bodies, probably. Maybe you haven't. It was funny. My daughter asked me that yesterday. It was Mother's Day, and she asked me, Mom, were you ever teased in school? And I said, I don't remember. I don't remember being teased. But then when I stop and think about it, I can remember people mocking that I had little muscles, maybe making remarks because I was short, smaller, fun size, or whatever. No one ever told me that I had a big nose or not a pretty nose, but I thought I had a wrong nose. I didn't like my nose. But I don't remember feeling really body obsessed about it. Maybe one time when someone told me something about maybe someone did tell me something about my nose, because I do remember fixating on it for a while. And back in the 80s, everyone was getting nose jobs and kind of thinking and asking my parents if I could get one. They just laughed at me, and that's not going to happen. And but I don't remember being overtly and constantly bullied or shamed in any way. And Sophia's like, wow. And then I thought to myself, I actually think it was my trauma response. Because I didn't come from a safe home. I think I learned to armor up so you couldn't hurt me. Oof, that armor over the years, Lord has just taken it from me more and more and more. Well, just when I think I got no more armor left, he finds the little switchblade in my pocket. Oop, okay, guess I do have something. But it never really hit for me. But honestly, now that we're talking, I would guess probably the nose thing did. Plus, I've been told, when I sang, you have too much nasal sound. Try not to sing from your nose. I'm like, well, it's my nose. It's just how it is. So fast forward to my early walk with Jesus. Probably I'm walking with him, really renewed my life to him when I was 30 years old. So it was 24 years ago. And about 4 or 5 years after that, I got involved with a ministry that was a body ministry, and it really kind of catapulted me into what I'm here to do through Revelation Wellness. And I remember being at a retreat, and I just got done moving some bodies and doing what I do because I love to do that. So just doing this body thing, it's the thing that I'm here to do. And we got done and we went into the cafeteria to eat, and we're having lunch. And I'm glowing in just the joy of the Lord. I've found this is what I'm made to do, and I'm with a community of people that I love and feel safe with at that time. And we started talking, me and a friend of mine who was one of the leaders in this group. And I don't know, I think we got on the topic of body image. And I said, yeah, my nose, probably, if there's something that I would want to change about myself, it's my nose. My profile pic, I'm like, meh, it bothers me. And I remember her looking at me with such intent and sobriety. And I didn't even think she grabbed my hand and reached over and she said, I wish you could see what I see. And then she just kind of stared at me, and that was that. And it like pierced me. I don't see what she must see something I can't see. I needed that to happen in connection to another. No one else was going to be able to do that. Someone had to speak that out. I wish you could see what I see. And that really was the voice of God. It wasn't, God used her, put her on like a glove to say, I need her to know this, because we're going to end this little cat and mouse game of needing to change anything about her body. And at that time I had my breast implants in. I think I was starting to wonder about maybe those needed to come out. Connection to God and others is needed for us to see what God sees. And then you got to keep running in that pack of people who are like, hey, we're not going to objectify our bodies. We're not going to neglect them. Please get a haircut. If you want to put some color on your hair, whatever. Like, again, I'm not anti beauty, any of that. It's just when it goes too far and I can't look in the mirror and celebrate the goodness of who I am, it's gone too far. And the enemy has crossed a territory, a boundary line that he has to get out. Body image in your brain. You are not broken. Your brain needs some new information, and it will only come because you feel loved. You feel valued. You feel it. And then you can't just have a one and done feel. You got to keep coming back, staying with others in a community that keep telling you, go back. Listen, remember what he said when he said it. You are the beloved. There is no flaw in you. All right, friends. Well, I hope this blessed you. Look at 30 minutes. I'm done. I gave you more bonus in that. And I'm not on camera right now. I love this. This is delightful. Send in your questions. Literally, if you have any questions, use the speak pipe below. Swipe up and let us know. Leave a message, leave a question. I'd love to even answer it on air. On air, like I'm a radio host. And just another plug for Health Summit. It is a sensory experience for your whole self. You're not just going to sit down and get information for your head. No. If it's stuck, if it hasn't made its way to your heart, and your health issues is not a cardiac heart issue, it is a heart soul issue. I want to see you at Health Summit. Swipe up, get enrolled, Denver. Otherwise, also let us know. There's another link here if you want a Health Summit in your area. We'd love to come to your church, come to your community. I'm just on the road saying I'm tired of seeing people through Zoom screens. Ask me how I feel about it. I want to see you. Okay, I'll see you. I'll see you soon. See you in all the places, and hopefully I'll see your legs. I would love to see your legs. I'd love to see you move and breathe in living color with me. But other than that, I'll see you in all the places. Peace.